We're not going to be staring at you. We're not going to be watching you as you drive up and down the road. It's for your protection. We're trying to monitor the East Coast so missiles don't come in.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, they put that blimp in the sky. It was for intercontinental ballistic missiles or something like that. It wasn't to surveil people. But even we didn't think of that. It was in Wired magazine that will spy on you through your dishwasher.
Too bad we didn't think of that during the Cold War, right?
Well, the next 10 years, almost every American family is going to have up to 50 different items in their home. That
cruise missiles. Yeah, we got a whole lot of those coming over here.
Yeah, it's a daily thing.
Proof that the vision itself
Those North Korean cruise missiles actually swim across the ocean before they get here.
But there are too many people in this town who actually
they got to give them a running start.
I'm sorry, all this comedy on network television we're watching right now is just bringing it out of me.
Yeah.
Time to unleash Team America.
I know how
it's probably in with that.
criticism may be. But I still think the cynics are wrong. I still believe that we are one people. I still believe that together we can do great things.
I believe that too. But we have this
and if we
big
can't,
government in the way trying to stop us at every turn.
This is the apple
first
pie
I'm going to
encore.
take your money.
Yeah.
America at its best.
Mom, apple pie, rah, Team America.
Young graduates from New York to California. Our newest officers at West Point, Annapolis, Colorado Springs, New London.
Our newest fast food workers.
In Newtown. In Boston.
Newtown.
Yeah, he had to throw that in there.
Yeah.
In West Virginia. I've watched Americans beat back adversity from the Gulf Coast to the Great Plains, from Midwest assembly lines to
We've
the
also
Mid-Atlantic
beat back your
seaboard.
false flags.
I've seen something like gay marriage go from a wedge issue used to drive us apart to a story
Didn't
of
he?
freedom.
Didn't he win gay marriage at the beginning of his term, or before he got elected?
Americans call.
Or he was hesitant to support it, I believe.
Yeah, he was.
I think that's a San Antonio.
So now the Supreme Court is going to decide that for everybody.
So I know the good.
And of course,
and optimistic and big-hearted generosity of the American.
They're going to force that definition on 50%.
Live the idea that we
60% of the people who oppose it.
And our sisters' keeper. And I know they expect those of us who serve here to set a better example.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see that.
The question for those of us here tonight
Just waiting.
is how we, all of us, can better reflect America's hopes. I've served in Congress with many of you. I know many of you well. There are a lot of good people here on both sides of the aisle. And many of you have told me that this isn't what you signed up for.
Those all-American
Arguing past each other on cable shows.
workers right there.
The constant fundraising. Always looking over your shoulder at how the base will react to every decision.
Yeah, let's get rid of elections.
Imagine if we broke out of these
talk
By the
about
base, he
policy.
means his corporate sponsors.
Imagine if we did something different.
Imagine.
What if you just let me make all the rules?
Be the king.
Understand, a better politics isn't one where Democrats abandon their agenda or Republicans simply embrace mine.
It's where I transcend you.
A better politics is one
your
where we appeal
kingship
to each other's basic
Unites
decency
us.
instead of our basest fears.
Our Lord and Savior.
Better politics is one where we debate without demonizing each other. Where we talk issues and
Cue
values
America
and
the Beautiful.
principles and facts.
And then he'll just veto you if he.
Or trivial
Right,
disagreements.
exactly. You don't allow him
Controversies
to
that have
be
nothing
the
to do
dictator.
with people's daily lives. A politics.
Even though the $1.7 trillion spending bill was completely counter to America's interests, we made that very clear by the way people voted in the midterms. They signed it anyway.
And spend more time lifting young people up with a sense of purpose and possibility. Asking them to join in the great mission of building America.
That's why they're building up
If we're
the
going to have arguments, let's have arguments.
war.
But let's make them debates worthy of this body and worthy of this country.
Okay, why don't you do the stuff that you've said you're going to do? Why don't you close down Guantanamo? Why don't you stop starting wars? How about you stop sending troops overseas? How about you stop funding all this stuff? Come on, guy.
Close corporate.
Why don't you give us
tax
some government
loopholes.
transparency?
Ever since you've been in August, the opium production in Afghanistan has gone up tenfold.
Yeah. Didn't you see that? That was on one of his charts, Joe.
Yeah, I think they left that one out.
This is what I'm the
It's going up
proudest of.
faster than automaking.
Much faster.
We can all see something of ourselves in the striving young student.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, the debt that they have. I share that.
Mom is snatched from her child. And then it's possible.
Yeah, you snatch moms from their child if they use cannabis oil to help fight cancers or things like that that their children are having.
Yeah.
Or if they have raw milk and they transport it across state lines.
Or if they decide they don't want to go through chemotherapy because they think it's not safe or effective.
Right. Or if they disagree with one of their doctors and follow the advice of this doctor.
Or if they decide not to take the flu shot, then their child's not able to go to school and they're not able to do their job as well.
Don't worry, we'll soon have a computer telling us when to go to the doctor and when to step in the medical chair.
Well, I've already had an experience with Watson, and let me tell you right here,
they'll just release the toxin into you.
It's a sensational experience.
We may have different.
You don't look bad, though, after getting out of there.
And New York.
I'm a little bit redder. It was hot in there.
But
and I'm missing a right leg.
We can understand a father who fears his son can't walk home without being harassed. And surely we can understand the wife who won't rest until the police officer she married walks through the front door at the end of his shift. And surely we can agree that it's a good thing that for the first time in 40 years, the crime rate and the incarceration rate have come down together. And use that as a starting point for Democrats and Republicans, community leaders and law enforcement.
To take more guns.
Is he talking about just in the last month that the NYPD has
stopped writing tickets?
Yeah.
Crime rate went down when they stopped writing 95% of their tickets.
Right.
But I wonder if the incarceration rate has gone down just because we've had 3 states legalize marijuana, because 80% of the people in prison are there for marijuana.
Yeah.
In Colorado, it has gone down a little bit, but...
And of course, he's opposed that.
Of course, yeah.
A state full of high people are a little too tired to be going out robbing banks and holding up stores, you know?
Yeah.
That's what they deserve. I have no more campaigns to run.
Thank God.
Thank God.
My only agenda.
I'm pushing my agenda.
I think he lost this last one. He won't acknowledge it.
Aren't you guys so pumped for when he becomes an ESPN sportscaster?
Oh God, no! Please don't say that.
Actually, I wouldn't mind that. He could make the transition right now. No. I wouldn't mind it too much.
Yeah, I wouldn't have
He's
to
always
say
on the
anymore.
golf course.
What I believe is best for America.
He should be leading.
There.
If you share the broad vision I outlined tonight, I ask you to join me in the work at hand.
You can go work with Bob
I
Costas.
ask you to join me. If not,
if you disagree with parts of it,
veto.
I hope you'll at least work with me where you do agree. And I commit to every Republican here tonight that I will not only seek out your ideas, I will seek to work with you to make this country stronger.
Yeah, he says Republicans, but not third parties. You know, like they won't let Gary Johnson into the debates and all the other things.
Well, he does all this also to set up like he's the good guy, he's the nice guy, but the majority Republican Congress just won't work with them, and they're the party of the rich. They're against all my great ideas.
Republicans are going to work with him on some really hideous surveillance state legislation and on the Trans-Pacific Partnership. And we're going to talk about this when this is over.
And passing that spending bill.
Yeah.
They rushed to sign it.
I want our actions to tell every child in every neighborhood, your life matters. And we are committed to improving your life chances, as committed as we are to working on behalf of our own kids.
And we could triple that number if we just get more people across the border.
That we are people who see our differences as a great gift.
We'll spend all that money we're going to use to build a border, and then we're going to build more Border Patrol stations hundreds of miles inland, away from the border, and then we're going to hassle American citizens.
That's right, to search your car.
Yeah.
And the
Are you an American citizen,
Because those are
sir?
Constitution-free zones.
I'm like, sir, I'm in America. I don't want to answer your
I
question.
want them to grow up in a country.
So then they smash your car window in.
That's all right.
We
Come
still
on.
know to be true. That we are still more than a collection of red states and blue states. That we are the United States of America.
The corporation of the United States.
Washington, Inc., INC, not DC. Yeah, we're going to, once we get past all of these apple pie generalities and the ovations, we're going to talk about the devil in the details behind what he's talked about. And there's some really atrocious stuff in his plans that he's been leaking for the last
future
week.
Generations of the Chinese.
It's amazing what you can bounce back from when you have to.
It's not that they've locked up and they haven't turned over to the states as they became states. 300 million acres.
We're going to take your land and blame it on turtles.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Has been preserved
Fellow Americans,
for future generations.
we too are a strong,
field
tight-knit
mice.
family. We too have made it through some hard times. 15 years into this new century, we have picked ourselves up, dusted ourselves off, and begun again the work of remaking
You
America.
got 165,000 fewer troops who are in harm's way, but you have 165,000 fewer troops who aren't getting any health care from the VA, and they're killing themselves in record numbers because they have no one with any kind of idea of what they've been through in the VA healthcare system to actually help them get through that situation. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right, looks like he's done.
Yeah, he's done. Thank God.
Is this the point where Boehner passes out the checks now?
Yeah.
Oh, you have to wait for the cameras to turn off before that
Now,
happens.
this is where they flip their chairs upside down and there's a little number under there and they try to get door prizes.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming. Oh, yeah. So who was our
Designated.
designated?
Yeah, let's play that
survivor?
Boehner clip. I think it's a perfect way to cap this off.
Mine asked me to give out a half a dozen checks quickly before we got to the end of the month, and I complied. And I did it on the House floor, which I regret, should not have done. It's not a violation of the House rules, but it's a practice that's gone on here for a long time that we're trying to stop, and I know that I'll never do it
Stop.
again.
Well,
The checks from
well,
the
there-
Trying to stop.
I think, if my memory serves me correctly, I think it was a tobacco check, yes.
How do you
Oh, no,
feel
I'll
about
never
that
do it
episode,
again.
Looking back on it.
It's a bad practice. We got to stop this. It's not-
I'm trying to stop. It's like
I'm trying to stop
like
myself, but I
smoking.
can't. It's
Like
harder
smoking.
than,
I'm trying to stop.
It's a bad practice, and we got to
Yeah.
stop it.
it's
I
harder
mean,
than quitting smoking. That's
Yeah.
right. Passing
he's
out those corporate
clearly-
checks.
That was
Clearly
quite the
trained to
show.
speak.
Just
I
get
mean,
such a rush with that. All right, let's talk about some of the things here. Let's talk about his tax program here. Again, we said it was going to be $320 billion of tax increases. That's greater than the gross domestic product of, and here's some of the countries that have a gross domestic product that is less than $320 billion. Denmark, Israel, Finland, Hong Kong, Greece, Ireland, Portugal, New Zealand. This is the amount of money, the entire economy of these countries, he's going to be using that amount of money or more to play with his social engineering is what he's proposing, of course. And they're going to be looking to mandate things. One of the things he didn't talk about is how he's going to mandate individual retirement accounts for all employers who have 10 or more people in their company.
Wow.
That's going to not help employment. It's not going to help people get raises if they want to look at increasing wages. That's
Hey,
not-
David,
yes.
before we get too far into this, let's go to Joe Biggs's report from earlier today. We premiered it today on the Alex Jones show.
All right.
Talking about the Watson system being used to administer VA health benefits. Yay, computers are going to start killing our soldiers
That's right.
instead of, I guess, foreign wars. Well, I guess they'll finish the job. So we're going to play that, and we're going to turn you guys around, and we'll flip the cameras around and go back to our normal look, and that'll just take a few minutes. So we're going to keep going. People out there watching us on the free stream, Infowars.com/show, and our YouTube channel, the Alex Jones channel, and also those of you who are our PrisonPlanet.tv members. We surely do appreciate all your support. And so we're going to play this, play a couple ads, flip the cameras around.
And
David,
Rob,
take us there. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Rob, I want to tell the audience, stick with us because especially on these internet proposals, there's a lot of details that the White House has put out in this last week that he just glossed over. He's just talking about mom and apple pie and waving the flag, but there's a lot of very bad details that have come out. And that's something we should be very concerned about because the Republicans are standing firmly behind him along with a lot of Democrats. The only opposition he's getting, strangely, on things like Trans-Pacific Partnership and internet control is coming from his own party. But of course, now they're in the minority. Obama and the GOP both want these things very badly. So we're going to tell you what he wants to do. And that's very important. So stay with us after this report.